So what is multi-vibrator is? It is a circuit which can have no stable states, or one stable state, or two stable state. Okay, so that is it. It is just a circuit wherein it can give you no stable state, or one stable state, and two stable state. So based on the number of stable states, multi-vibrator can be classified into that's what. So depending on this stable states, you can classify as a stable, monostable, and bistable multi-vibrator, wherein a stable multi-vibrator will not give you, there won't be any stable state at all. Means there will be transition from on state to off state, and off state to on state. So this transition would keep continuing in a stable multi-vibrator, Whereas in monostable multi-vibrator, there would be one stable state, as name says, mono. So one stable state would be there in the multi-vibrator. So this stable state would be maintained with the help of external trigger pulse. Okay. And the next one would be our bistable multi-vibrator. In bistable multi-vibrator, you will have two stable states. One is on state and off state. Okay, so that you can keep it in stable state with the help of external trigger pulse. Whereas in a stable multi-vibrator, there is no external trigger pulse required at all. So even without external trigger pulse, you can transition, you can obtain the transition from on to off and off to on. Okay, so is it clear to you? So this is the classification of your multi-vibrator. Okay, so in that, one of the multi-vibrator would be your monostable multi-vibrator, which we are discussing. This is one of the wherein you IC 555 timer can be used as it is one of the applications of your 555 timer. See, your 555 timer, you can use it in many of the home applications also, like in washing machine or your mixer. Wherever timer is necessary, there you can use. Even in the industrial application, if you look at, you can use it for welding, soldering. So all these, wherever timer application is necessary, you can fix in your IC 555 timer to those respective applications. Okay, so now it is we are discussing about your monostable multi-vibrator, which is one of the applications of 555 timer. Means yeah, which can be used as a your IC 555 timer can be used as a multi-vibrator. Okay, so in that particular, there are many multi-vibrators. In that, first one multi-vibrator which we are going to study, that would be our monostable multi-vibrator. In monostable multi-vibrator, you have only one stable state, which is your on state. So with the help of external trigger pulse, you can obtain the monostable multi-vibrator, a monostable state. Okay, you can obtain that monostable state. Okay, so this is your internal circuit diagram of your monostable state, monostable multi-vibrator. You will, it is similar to your IC 555 timer, but the external additional component which we have here is only one resistor and one capacitor, which we are connecting to the your IC 555 timer. This is one additional thing. So so you can operate your 555 timer as a monostable multi-vibrator by connecting your external resistor and a capacitor. So waveforms, you should be able to understand how does the operation of your monostable multi-vibrator works. Okay. See, now in the waveform, if you see, you have the VCC, which is the input. So this VCC or this waveform is the input which we give it to your trigger pulse. Which trigger pulse? That's your pin number 2. Okay, so this is the input which we give it to your this comparator, which is inverting terminal of this comparator 2. So you know that we discussed in the last class, input will be given, or trigger input will be given with the help of pin number 2, okay, across your comparator 2. So this is your input, trigger input waveform, and this is your capacitor waveform, the capacitor, the operation of the capacitor, okay, and this is your output. So capacitor, we have it here. So the variation in the capacitor would be seen in the second waveform, that is in this waveform, and the output, the variation in this output voltage would be seen across, would be seen in this third waveform, okay. I hope it's clear. So one is your trigger input, and then second is the variation of the capacitor, charging and discharging of the capacitor, and then third one would be your output voltage, okay, across your RS flip-flop. Okay, now let us see. See, now initially what happens is, in the waveform, if you look at, initially up to this time interval 1, you have the trigger input is plus VCC, correct? So so up to your this at this, you can say this is T1 and this is T2, okay. So up to this point T1, what you have is up to T1, not at T1, up to T1 you have plus VCC as a trigger input to the comparator 2. So at this time what happens? So at V2 there is plus VCC, okay. So trigger input at your pin 2 you have plus VCC, and when this is at plus VCC, the output of the comparator, since this input is connected to this comparator, when this is negative in the sense it is going less than your VCC by 3. See, this is VCC by 3. This center is your VCC by 3. So it is going less than that. Okay. So when it is going less than that, what will happen to your comparator output? So the comparator output is going to be high. Okay. When it is going less than your VCC by 3, this comparator would be high. And what will happen to your SR flip-flop? This SR flip-flop also would be reset. So when this is reset, what will happen? Q bar is going to be 1 and Q is going to be 0. Okay. So since Q bar is high, what will happen to your output voltage? You will also obtain output voltage as high, okay, at this point. And since Q is 0, what will happen? This is connected to your transistor QD. Since Q is 0, that in turn drives your transistor, and your transistor acts as an open switch. And so that drives you, since Q is equal to 0, that drives your saturation, your transistor to cutoff region. Okay. So because of that, what will happen? Your transistor would be open circuit, or it would act as an open switch, and that is connected to your capacitor, wherein charging of capacitor would happen at this point exponentially. And since there is a charging of the capacitor which would happen, what would happen to your output voltage? This is going to be high. Okay. So this is at the point of when T is equal to T1. Let us have a look at in the waveform. When T is equal to T1, at this point, we have a negative input, negative trigger input to your pin number 2. So at that point, what will happen? Your comparator 2 would be reset, wherein Q bar is going to be high and Q is going to be 0. since Q is 0, that drives your saturation, your transistor to cutoff region. Because of that, it acts as an open switch, and that in turn, which is connected to capacitor, would start to charge exponentially, and the output voltage, see, if you see here at this point, your capacitor starts to charge. It started to charge exponentially at this point whenever it is at T1. It started to charge exponentially, and the voltage, if you see, you have high state. The output of the um, output voltage across your pin number 3, this is going to be your high state. This is what you call it as T on time of your multivibrator or monostable multivibrator. Hmm? Understood this? Should I repeat it?
No, ma'am. Understood, ma'am. Got it.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Similarly, now that is when at T is equal to T1 we discussed. Now what we have to do is we have to discuss about at T is equal to T2. At this point, what will happen? Your voltage across your pin number 2, it is now again at VCC. See, again it is at VCC. At this point, it is at VCC. So voltage across your pin number 2 is VCC. And if you see at this point, voltage across the capacitor also, it is 2/3 of VCC. The capacitor voltage would also be 2/3 of VCC. So now what you have to do when your capacitor is at 2/3 of VCC, that would be compared with your threshold. So VTH, the threshold voltage, is compared with 2/3 of VCC. So when VTH is greater than 2/3 of VCC, your threshold voltage is greater than 2/3 of VCC, what will happen? Your comparator would go to high state. Okay, so whenever threshold goes greater than, whenever threshold is greater than 2/3 of VCC, your comparator would go to high state. Which comparator? See, you have your threshold here. Yes, so you have pin number 6, which is your threshold. Okay, so VTH, so that voltage would be compared with the threshold voltage would be compared with your 2/3 of VCC. Whenever threshold is greater than 2/3 of VCC, your comparator 1, this comparator 1 which is connected to threshold would go high. Okay, so when that goes high, what will happen? Again, there would be change in the flip-flop, RS flip-flop. So in that case, since your comparator 1 is high, the Q is going to be high. Again, it would be set wherein Q is going to be high, and Q complement or Q bar is going to be 0. So when Q bar is 0, the output voltage is also going to be 0. And Q is high. Since Q is high, it is and the transistor which is connected to it, this Q would drive your transistor into saturation, and that in turn acts as a, since it has driven into saturation region, it acts as a closed circuit, closed switch. So since it is closed, what will happen? This causes the capacitor to discharge, and the output of the timer is going to be low. Okay, so if you see here at this point at the terminal 2, whenever your VTH is greater than 2/3 of VCC threshold voltage, in that case what will happen? Your capacitor starts to discharge, and it's going to be, if you see, it has reduced, it start to discharge. Okay, and at this point the output voltage is going to be your again low state. Okay, so your VC voltage across the capacitor started to discharge, and your output voltage is going to be low state at which point, whenever your in trigger input is going to be at VCC at the point at the time T2. Okay, so only at this point you have to compare your threshold voltage with your 2/3 of VCC. Whenever VTH is greater than your 2/3 of VCC, your comparator would be again reset, again would be set to set high, where Q is going to be high and Q dash is going to be 0. So like this, the cycle keeps repeating and you would obtain your the output voltage, so the on time. Okay. So the main thing is here, if you see, okay, there are certain conditions which will help you to obtain, which has to be satisfied to operate as a monostable multivibrator. What are those conditions are? First one is your pulse width waveform, your trigger pulse, the trigger pulse which you are giving at the input. So the trigger pulse, width of the trigger pulse should be less than your pulse width. Okay, always the trigger input you give across your pin number 2, that input trigger pulse width should be less than your on time. Okay, or your pulse width of your output. Okay, this is one condition which you should mainly focus in order to obtain the monostable multivibrator. Yes, and more thing is here, the on time or the pulse width of your output. So the main control is here, the on time. The on time or the pulse width on time would be able to control with the help of the time constant RC. Okay, so if you see the resistor and the capacitor which we have connected externally, so that plays a vital role in controlling the time constant of your pulse width. Okay. Okay, so now the pulse width or the on time is given by 1.1 RA into C, where RA is um, your resistor which we have connected externally, and C is the capacitor which we have connected externally. So by controlling R and C, you can control the pulse width of you. Understood? Is it clear? See, if you see, resistor is connected to your plus VCC, which is your pin number 8. Any doubt in this, any of you?
Ma'am, you told that 8 pin, no, ma'am?
Yes, it is 8 pin.
Okay, ma'am.
No, I said 8th pin. 8th pin, which is your plus VCC,
Okay.
that is connected to this resistor.
Okay, ma'am.
Oh, that's what I said. Any doubt, guys? So conditions you understood, no? Width of your trigger input must be smaller than the pulse width of the output waveform. And see, always your trigger pulse must be negative going signal. Okay, so trigger pulse, which is your trigger input, that should be always negative going signal for your, which you give it to your input voltage at pin number 2. These are the two conditions which we have to satisfy. So on time is given by 1.1 times RA into C, where the pulse width of the output pulse can be controlled or it can be varied with the help of charging time of capacitor. Okay. So that has full control. And the applications, if you see, for a frequency divider or for pulse width modulation or missing pulse detector, in these purposes, you will be able to use this as monostable, your multi-vibrator. Any doubt in this? All of you understood this clearly? Do you want me to repeat? Only 3 things you should keep it in mind. One is whenever your input voltage is at VCC and whenever input voltage is at time T1 and input voltage is at T2. Okay. So whenever trigger input is plus VCC, what will happen? What happens to your comparator? So this is positive. The comparator would be set high. This would be set. So Q bar is going to be Q bar is going to be 0 and your Q is going to be 1. So when Q is 1, this in turn would drive the transistor to your saturation state. That in turn acts as a closed switch. Because it acts as a closed switch, your capacitor would be bypassed and the voltage across the capacitor would be 0. So since the voltage across the capacitor is 0, the output voltage also going to be your 0. Okay, initially we are going to assume it, that's all. We would assume your flip-flop, which would be set as Q bar as 0 and Q to be high initially. And now in the second state, what will happen? Whenever it is at T1, this is going to be a voltage. It is going to be negative trigger pulse. So the voltage input is negative. So the comparator output, see when this would be less than 1/3 of VCC, your comparator input. So the output of the comparator would go high. Whenever it is less than 1/3 of VCC, your comparator would go high. So whenever it goes high, what will happen? The flip-flop again would be reset, wherein Q bar would be high. The output voltage also going to be high, where Q is 0. So when Q is 0, that would drive your transistor to cutoff state, and this in turn would act as an open switch. Whenever it acts as open switch, what will happen to capacitor? Capacitor would starts to charge. So whenever it starts to charge, what will happen? The output voltage would be seen 26. Okay, so for only for that particular state, you would obtain the stable output. Okay, that is between your T1 to T2. That is, which is nothing but your, that we consider it as on state. And controlling of on state can be done with the help of the external resistor and capacitor. Okay, so on time is given by 1.1 times RA into C. Okay, so that's about your monostable multivibrator. Next is a stable multivibrator. Any doubt? Not any clarification? Anybody?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So in astable multivibrator, what happens? So, so what does your stable multivibrator do? As I said, mono